Welcome everybody to my Antarctica adventure presentation. I am so excited to share my journey with you, and you're in for a ride because it was a beautiful trip and I cannot wait to share it with you all. Thank you for waiting patiently. And please, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. And if you are watching afterwards, you're welcome to write also the questions in the comments, and I will reply as soon as I can. And you can always DM me, so make sure you follow me too. So my name is Vanessa von der Adams, and I am Latino World Traveler. I am a high school teacher. I also travel with my students, and I am also a world traveler and travel solo, travel in groups, travel with my husband, with my friends, with anyone who's around me. And this is my trip to Antarctica. Okay, keep it going. Okay, how we all started. It started with my vision board. So every year I create a vision board, and this was my 2017 vision board. I know it's like super overwhelming. It has a lot of information, but I always like to dream big and to always put, you know, my vision on paper, on photos, and with affirmations, so I can like dream bigger and remind myself of the things that I want. So this is my vision board, and what I put there was share extraordinary moments with friends in the Antarctic and on board of the world's finest cruise line. Which is like, what? I literally just cut that from a magazine, and I'm like, I love this. And it's called Destination Our Happy Place. And it was just there, 2017, right? And as you can see, there are other things in this board that have actually happened for me. Like I got married in Thailand. I took my students to China. I actually started doing CrossFit and like was super, super healthy back then. Also, I became debt free, and my credit score was raised to 825, I think it was the highest I've ever had it. So I've always tried to like set myself with big goals and big dreams. Now, fast forward to 2021. I know a lot of people in the travel industry, and one of my friends was hosting a trip to Antarctica. And he was raffling one of the spaces on his trip. And the tickets were $99 per ticket for the raffle. I purchased 2 tickets. I was like, I don't have a lot of money, but I'm going to put, like they say, my eggs in this basket just in case. You never know. Next thing you know, I am the winner of the trip to Antarctica, which is like, what? This is like insane. So of course I go on Instagram, I start crying out of control because I'm like, wow, it's like the power of manifestation. Seeing, like putting something on paper and like something coming true, and you don't even know how it happens. It's like a miracle because it was an all expense paid 12 days in Antarctica that was worth at least $17,000. And it was not like your regular trip. There are trips to Antarctica that can be as low as $6,000. That's the lowest you're ever going to find a trip to Antarctica. But not all companies are created equal. Not all trips are created equal. And not all trips to Antarctica either are created equal, because you can go for 10 days, for 15 days, even for 30 days, even for longer. They all have a variety and a range of costs. So this was like the ultimate dream trip, because I had already been to the 6 continents, and this was my 7th. And the fact that I just put it there and it just happened, it was like, whoa, like universe, you know, it's crazy, like the way the universe works. Well, the first thing I did here was I go to Argentina, because I'm like, okay, you have to land in Buenos Aires, and the trip starts from Buenos Aires technically. So I'm gonna arrive a few days earlier, and I'm just gonna explore in Buenos Aires. So I wanted to also add recommendations of things to do in Buenos Aires. So like if you're gonna have food and drinks, you know I'm the foodcation queen. So my trips are usually around food. So we went to Mercado San Telmo, which is this video right here. It has so many different little restaurants and markets here and there that you can purchase food and eat it, and they have just delicious food. Oops. Also, they have the Floreria Atlántico. So this is a speakeasy. You literally walk in. It looks like a flower shop, but then you go to the basement and it's like a full-on bar and restaurant. And it's the 18th world's best 50th bars in the world. So it's super pretty. I don't have any pictures here. I was trying to gather all the pictures and it was hard. And then we also went to Don Julio, which is the world's 50 best list, is the number 12 in the world back then. Now it is, I think, 18, and is number 3 in Latin America of the best restaurants. So they had a lot of meat, tender, delicious meat. And it wasn't even that expensive, to be honest. It was like, we ate fine and dine, like they say, wine, desserts, meats, side dishes, and everything was like $60 per person. I couldn't believe it personally. I was like, all of this is just $60. I also did a La Boca tour, a mural tour in Palermo. I went to La Plaza de Mayo, El Obelisco, Puerto Madero, and El Ateneo Grand Splendid, which used to be a opera, I don't know, place, I don't know, where they would play opera, and they made it into a bookstore. And I also took a tango class and then went to a milonga, which is where like people go to showcase their dances. So it's usually like experts, but you could go and admire it. And they have a specific rules. So that was the beautiful thing about that trip that I was there.
Hello, aventura. Son las 5 de la mañana.
So
This is my stack of money. This is about $200.
Yes. So in order to exchange money in Argentina, the best method is to send yourself money using your debit card through Western Union. And then from Western Union, you go and pick it up because rates are better. They have like different types of currency as well and different costs. Like the government is very volatile, their economy. So do not use credit cards. They overcharge you as well, like an extra fee. And you're just going to end up paying double whatever you wanted to buy. So the best thing to do, not even taking it out of the ATM, they're going to overcharge you and give you like a rate of, I want to say like 18 of their pesos for like $1 or something like that. I can't remember the exact figure, but it's like astronomical. Is the best option is just going to Western Union. So my friend, she exchanged $1,000 because she was gonna do a lot of stuff, and she had to get a book bag because imagine this couldn't even fit in my purse. I brought a little purse thinking, I didn't do my homework, but I learned, and I didn't spend more than $200 there, to be honest. So everything was super cheap. But just be mindful of that when you go there. Now, Antarctica. It was a 12 days itinerary. So if you look at the picture on the top, this is the entire journey. So we go to the Antarctic Peninsula, not where the scientific station is, which is like in the center, which is called El Polo Sur. Normally you're not allowed to go there unless you are on a special mission, you're a scientist, you're a military, or like people who are gonna hike the summit. They have to get a special permission to hike the summit. But those people that hike the summit are usually like people who hike Everest and Mount Fuji and like all of the mountains. They just hike and they're just going around the world doing that because people are normally not allowed to go there. So the other best option is to do the Antarctic Peninsula. That's the one way you can touch land and say you have been in Antarctica. So these are all of the places where we dock, and we landed in 3 of them. So Danko, Cape Tuxen, and Portal Point were the 3 landings that we did. That means we got off the boat and actually touched. Now, there are many different cruises that go to Antarctica. but there are two differences. The expedition cruises, which is where I was, the expedition cruises, you are allowed to go off on a zodiac, which is like the black kind of how do you say, like the black kind of boats that float. Those you're able to go out, explore, go through different areas that are a little bit more remote, because the big ship can really go to those areas, and also get on the land. Then they have the regular cruises, which I know Carnival last year was approved for, and they just go around, but they cannot go deep into certain areas, and you're not allowed to leave the boat. So there is a drastic difference in cost. A Carnival can cost like $2,000-$3,000, maybe up to $5,000. But this one, the expedition ones, can cost from $14,000, sorry, all the way to $30,000. So huge difference. Also, the boats that have more than 150 people are not allowed to dock on the land. So when you're looking at the different ships, make sure you select one that has at least that has 100 to 150 people in it. If it has more, it's not gonna dock. So the first thing in the itinerary was to go to Ushuaia, which is the tip, the southernmost tip of Argentina. And over there, they have a post office that is called at the end of the world post office. And you can actually mail yourself a postcard. But it takes months, years. We still haven't received our postcard today. People receive it like years later sometimes. So just know that. And you can send yourself also a postcard from the ship. But those ones take sometimes even longer. You'll get it eventually, but you don't know when. So, and this was like really cool because you're like, oh my God, I'm in this tip, which is in Ushuaia. So how do we get from Argentina, from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia? We took a small plane, about 3 hours. The views are phenomenal on that. So I was lucky I had a window seat, and it was just beautiful, like you seeing everything. And once you get on the boat, the first thing that they do is you get a...
Now I'm here in the helicopter in work expedition ultramarine, so I'm excited. We are in Ushuaia, like you can
Oh, come on, video.
there.
That's the video of Ushuaia. They usually let you go off,
And we're on our way to
before you get on the ship,
Antarctica.
and if you go around, you can get your stamp as well. They recommend you don't do it on your passport because it can invalidate your passport. So some people bring like your older passport and then stamp that, because it's not an official stamp. It's just like for you to say that you went there, pretty much. Activities. So first we went to Cape Horn when we got on the ship on the same day, which is located in a small Hornas island. And only one couple lives there in the entire island with 2 children, and they live there all year round. They actually pay the couple to live there. So if you ever wanted to live remotely, you can go and live there. That is the one. It belongs to Chile, and so I can say I went to Chile too, because hello, I was in one of their territories. And they had a Dominican flag. Of course, I had to take a picture. Of course. Like they say, oh, I'm Dominican. Of course, I have to take a picture with my flag everywhere. Now, they had what are called daily briefings. They had it on one of their, it's called Panorama Room, I believe it was. They had a big screen. They usually gave classes there, but they will also put it everywhere for you to always know, even on your TV in your bedroom. So you could always know where what's happening that day. And at night, they will post what's happening the next day. So this is what it looked like, kind of, so you have an idea. So every hour is accounted for. Like you're always doing something. They were training us they do briefings, meaning that they train you on the different things. Everything from how to pack to go out, to how to do the heli landing, to how to everything, literally, how to wrap things up. Anything that you can think of, they will teach you. So you don't need to go there or do research before time. You just arrive and they will teach you everything you need to know. The boat is the Ultramarine. That is their latest ship. It was literally, that year that I went, last year, was their first year that they were using that ship. It's their latest ship, and it has 2 helicopters with Quark Expeditions, yes, which is the #1 company that does polar expeditions. So that's why it was so like crazy that I won, because I'm like, not only I'm going to Antarctica, but I'm going on the best ship and with the best company. Like, you can't get anything but, like, seriously. I'm still like in awe, and as I was putting the presentation together, I was like tearing a little bit, like I did that, you know? The helicopter ride, and they did, everybody gets the helicopter ride. And then you can also purchase a helicopter ride for every month. So then after this is the layers. So because you're going on the zodiacs, twice a day, you have to like put all the layers up and take off all the layers and put all the layers back up. So they will call us by groups, and you had your own like cubby with your name. So you see it says B012. So you have an ID here that's always with you. And that ID has your room number, and it has your cubby. It's your cubby number, your room number, your group number. So if they say, oh, group 8 is going out, get ready. They give you 10 minutes for you to come from wherever you are, to come get dressed, to leave. So this is one short video, but sometimes I will put more layers or sometimes I will put less. It depends on the temperature. And it depends like where were we going, if we were gonna land or if we were just gonna be on the zodiac. Why it keeps stopping? Fine. No,
Okay,
what I
ready.
need to do. Okay. Please don't stop. So you can see all of it. Come on. So I did this video several times. Why it keeps doing that?
Okay,
I don't know what is doing that, guys. Sí que lo siento. Please. I think it's the internet, my internet, that is not loading properly. But you get the gist, right? Now on the zodiacs, like we will get ice, because that ice that water has the cleanest water in the world. And we will get ice and then create drinks with that ice at the bar. So everybody will like go out. If you see like a little piece that came off of iceberg, you will grab that little piece. It's the most clear ice you can find, and you bring it and have drinks. Literally. I went in January. So December and January are the 2 most expensive months because it is the warmest there. It's normally like 32 Fahrenheit, which is 0 degrees. And yeah, it could go up to -10, but it is the warmest like time in the entire Antarctica. Now, if you go at the beginning in November, the experience is completely different because the ship is actually breaking the ice as it's going. If you go in the middle, some of the ice have melted, and then you see different, like you're gonna see different wildlife, you're gonna see different landscape, and you're gonna see different like just formations of ice, depending on when in the year you go. Also, you're gonna see whales. If you go in March, you see more whales because the whales come from like Mexico and from like Brazil area. They come all the way down to Antarctica. So it depends what you want to see. If you go at the beginning in November, you see a little bit more baby penguins because they're like hatching, like they're being born. If you go like when we go, you're gonna see most of everything. Plus, people usually have it off during that time because of the holidays. So it's also most expensive. So you could go earlier and it will be cheaper, but if you go December and January, it will be more expensive automatically. Everything will be more expensive. Not only the flight to Argentina, but also the trip itself. Because they know most people go during that time because it is the best time weather-wise and based on like what you're gonna see as well. So I'm gonna show you what about the clothes. I'm gonna explain the clothes a little bit later. You can go in March, but in March again, it starts getting a little colder again because they only have technically two seasons. This will be considered maybe fall and then winter. That's it. They don't really have 4 seasons. They will also have presentations in the Ambassador Theater. They will have presentation about, oh, this is the wildlife that you're gonna see. And they recommend that you bring, ¿cómo se llama? How do you say that? The thing, I'm forgetting the name. But these
Binoculars.
Binoculars, yeah. Binoculars, so you can see like the birds. Sometimes they will come really close, but sometimes you will have to use the binoculars. They teach you about the different penguins and the kinds that we're gonna see, and then they give you another lecture of which kinds we actually ended up seeing. So not only they give you like an overview of all of it, but then when you come back, they give you every day. They gave you, this is what we did today. They give you an overview of what we did, and they make a video every day of what you did as well. So that's great too, because they make a very nice video. They even give you photography classes. So I mean, every day it was a different class for something. And you could go if you wanted to, or you didn't have to go. But I just love that because everyone there was like expert. Oh, glaciers, history about like Antarctica, the geology of Antarctica and everything. It was just like incredible. Now, the first continental landing, that's when I was like, oh, I need to bring my flag because of course. When I looked up Latinos in Antarctica, the hashtag actually didn't exist. And I'm like, oh my God, my dream, which is in my vision board, is to bring 125 Latinos and fill up an entire boat and be playing reggaeton while we're there. That is like my next dream. And make the hashtag Latinos in Antarctica go trending. So I'm letting you know that this is my dream because I like to put it out there in the universe. So this one, I was like almost crying because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm here, you know. And I mean, I was the only one that brought a flag, by the way, at least a flag of a country. So how many Latinos were on that boat? They were technically 4, 2 Argentinians that were working on the ship, and 1 Guatemalan, and then me. So most of the people that went on this trip are like doctors, lawyers, people that, like, there was a guy that we met, he makes chips for the government. Another one, he owned franchises of McDonald's. And other people, they went like the whole family. I'm like, how can they afford, like literally, the father, the mother, 3 children, the aunt with the wife, the other aunt with another, like, I'm like, how are they here? Like, I don't understand. Everybody had like a lot of money. I was the person that had the least amount of money out of everybody in the entire trip who was attending, of course. Exactly, that generational wealth, retirement money, yep. And that was another thing too, the demographic was mostly like older. So because I went on a trip with my friend and the group is called Haitian Nomad, everybody there was Black. So it was 15 of us, Black. And the people that work there adore us because they're like, we've never seen this many Black people on a ship. It's usually like 1 or 2. So having 15, they were catering to us like there is no tomorrow. They loved us. They were like, we never had this energy in this ship. Never. Porque imagínate what kind of people go there. Okay? So having us on the boat was a blessing for them. Now this was continental landing 2.
Ready. Okay. Hola mi gente dominicana y mis latinos, I am here, estoy aquí en Antártida. Miren qué belleza, la nieve blanquita, los pingüinos que vienen desde la playa y suben por ese camino hasta su colonia, el barco que estoy viajando que se llama Quark Expeditions. Miren esos glaciales y esos icebergs. Precioso. Tienen que venir aquí porque no se lo pueden perder. Es uno de los mejores paseos que he tomado en mi vida completa. Y estoy en el 7º continente, me encanta y lo he disfrutado a todo. Y yo soy una dominicana que va hasta la última bolita del mundo. Por eso estoy aquí, para mostrarle a ustedes que ustedes también pueden. Si yo lo hice, ustedes también. Así que vamos para toda parte del mundo, incluyendo Antártida. Bye.
So if you saw in the video, there was like a little like you could hike it up and go all the way up. But if you I couldn't find the video, but I have one. When the penguins are going up, they create their own trails, and you literally have to wait until they walk, and then you can walk. So it's like a semáforo, like a stoplight. Like you have to wait like until they like walk, and then you can walk. But you have to wait, like you have to stay at a certain distance from them because they don't want you to damage their like the land and like for you to affect how they live. So this is the closest I could get to them while I was there, this distance. And if you get close, there are like 20 people on top of you, like, hello, you can't get close, you know? So what people that said that they pet the penguins, you cannot do that there. They're like, we don't want you to bring diseases and then affect. That's why they give you the boots. They give you specific boots and they give you the jacket as well. And the jacket is one of the best jackets ever. They give it to you. I'm going to explain that in the packing part. This was the 3rd landing. This was towards the end of the trip. And I'm dancing, of course.
El Alfa, I'm playing your go-go dance song right here in Antarctica. Woo!
I have to post that video and tag him.
¡Eh, dominicanos! ¡En Antártica! Woo!
Yes. So the only reason why I play this song, and I also did a Bad Bunny song, is because I realized that I have Apple Music, but you don't have service there, so you can't play. And I had those 2 songs downloaded on the phone. So I'm like, damn, I don't have access to my music. But I had one Bad Bunny song and I had this song downloaded for some reason. So I'm like, I'm going to play these 2 songs then. So pretty much that's why I play that song. But look at the view. Like, look, people are kayaking and look at the whales right there. Sometimes we will be on the Zodiacs and the whales, all kinds of whales. They had humpback whales, and what was the other kind of whale? And there were 2, like primarily that we saw the most. And like it's incredible, like you're right there from it. It looks, here it's far, but sometimes we were like really close. So you have to be recording at all times because you never know when they were gonna pop up. Like you just never knew when. But they were super calm, the whales, and like no one was ever in danger of anything. The food, I probably gained like at least 10 to 15 pounds there, to be honest, because look, they have lobster, I mean, all kinds of food. This is a typical menu for dinner, right? You could literally order everything that is here and just take a bite of each, whatever you want. So some of us would literally order everything here just to taste it. Every day it was a different menu. And if you want to order one thing multiple times, like let's say you like the duo of pork, you could order the duo of pork 2 times. If you just want to have one dish and like it was crazy. One day they have ice cream of the day, and one day they didn't have pistachio ice cream, and they're like, oh, we don't even have it made, because sometimes they make it on board. And I was like, oh, I was so looking forward to pistachio ice cream. So they literally went wherever, and like 30 minutes later they brought me the pistachio ice cream. They're like, oh, we made it from scratch for you. I was like, so the service is impeccable. I ended up we had to give like tip to them, but I gave extra tip to some people because they were just so incredible. And most of the people that work there were from the Philippines. So I was like, I know the struggles you go through working on a ship. So I made sure to tip them really well on top of the tip that we had to give. Just because I'm like, they're busting their ass. I don't even know where they sleep, to be honest, because they're awake before we are awake, and they're sleeping way after we go to bed. So these are some photos from the Zodiac. This is the ship with the views. This video here, this photo here is at 6 o'clock in the morning. They literally make an announcement, hey, wake up, we are at this it's like a very famous stretch, and they're like, come, and I got a coffee, went out with my pajamas, and I took a picture. But the views are like incredible. Like you never know where you're gonna go, what you're gonna do, and everything is different, the landscapes.
No, what you doing? My bad. I saw the wrong car.
In our
yeah.
our downtimes, we will sleep and be in our best behavior, but really piling up the boat. So
7-5.
we play cards, we play dominoes, we play so many games. We even did like you had to guess the song. So they will sing like a
Shorty, it's your birthday.
so it was her birthday.
Like it's your birthday.
Party like it's your birthday.
They have to like perform the song and guess what the song is.
Pull the ball around, know what you need.
So you see why we were riling up the boat, because it's empty. Most people are like in their rooms, and we're like at the bar having the most fun ever. Literally. That's why I love traveling with people.
Hello, friends and family.
And they also had a sauna.
So here I am.
Now the sauna had like beds for you to stretch and relax. They also had a steam room, showers, and a sauna. So I'm gonna show you like what it looks like.
I was at the sauna
You can go as many times as you want. It's open.
because I wanted to relax here.
Video. Video, please. Don't do this to me. I don't know why it keeps doing this, guys. Let me see. Okay.
Spot. And I get to have this beautiful view. Check
So
this
you
out.
can be there and see whales,
Beautiful Antarctica.
penguins,
So
like
here
just
I am,
around,
looking at icebergs
icebergs.
and the beauty, the whiteness that it has to show. It's so bright, and it is 9:30 p.m. So sometimes it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it is this bright.
Yeah. So that is one of the things.
I'll see if
like,
I
the sun
stay
doesn't
awake
really go
someday
down.
and show you. I love you all, but I just wanted to come here to show you what I'm doing. Nos vemos.
And this is us doing like TikTok dances.
5, 6, 7, and right.
And it looks like fake because it's so like freaking beautiful and majestic. It just looks fake in the background, and it's like, oh my god, the views. And that's like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. at night. So yeah, we did a lot of. They will also do contests. So if you can predict the time and the date that something is gonna happen, they will be like, if you can predict it, you're gonna win this. And they will, or they will say things like, oh, go outside to. They had a name for the right deck and the left deck. They had a name, and you will go out, and they will say like 5 o'clock, and everybody will be out going 5 o'clock. What is there? It was just, you were always like on alert, like on call, because you never know when what was going to happen. This is getting to the plunge. So you line up, they play music, and you cheer as people come back and as people are going, because a lot of people, they're excited, but a lot of people are scared. And they give you a shot when you come back, because you are so cold that you are like, it's a lot of fun.
Put your phone down, Sharon. Watch your phone.
Now, I don't know how to swim, but whether you know how to swim or not, they are always gonna put something around you, because even when some people have died of heart attack. They're like one person every blue moon. It's not really like people die all the time. And they die mostly because of the shock, not because of how cold the water is. You can see the ice and everything there. So I did several recordings. I did it from this view. Look at my face. I also did it from the top. So I got I have 2 phones. I got it from the top. And then they also have cameragraphers there doing video and play. So you get like,
We got the phone.
yes. So it is insane. But I did it, and I feel so proud of myself, because I'm like, I always try to push myself even beyond my fears. I mean, who likes cold water? And that water is like so cold. And so this is how it looked in photos from the other view. So I actually did pretty good, because I actually did like a pose like this. Some people just jump like chip, and that's it. Some people are really, really good on how they like pose and jump. But imagine, I'm scared of heights and I'm scared of water because I don't know how to swim, but I still do it. And sometimes you just, no, we do not have to purchase these photos. So what they do, everything, your entire experience, all the presentations, all of the photos they also take, all of the photos that we personally upload, like the entire passengers, or the passenger upload we have to upload it to a certain platform. All the photos they upload, all of the menus, all of the entire route, what we did every day, all of the animals we saw, everything, they put it in a folder and they send it to you a month later. So even if you take 0 photos, you're still gonna have everything. But I took photos. I brought 2 phones, and I put one on what is this thing called? I put one on this. I don't know if you can see it. On this, this is called DJI. So this way, even if the boat was moving, I could still get a clear video of the footage. And then I also brought this. This was mostly for pictures, because I didn't want the phone to slide from my hands. And I would just put the phone here and press. So sometimes I will have both at the same time. Sometimes it depends what I was doing. I will have both at the same time. Let me see. So this is the cost. Like 2025, the same ship, the same itinerary. the room that I had, which was the Explorer Suite, which is 2 people in a suite, it's on discount right now. Right now it's at 20% off. So it's 21,000 normally, but it's on discount at 16,571. So if you're in a triple, now if you come with friends, great. But if not, they're gonna place you just with a random person. Now that same boat on the same room, on the same had different rooms, and the highest room was 29,000. So with a discount, 20% discount. Now, other things that you can sign up for are sea kayaking, paddling excursions, stand-up paddle boarding, camping, exclusive heli landing, meaning not only getting on the helicopter, but also on the helicopter and landing on the land, like on a mountain, and alpine heli landing. Now, because I won the trip towards the end of most people when they sign up. So they only have like 25 spaces for each one of these things. So by the time I went to sign up, I mean, there are 125 people on the ship. They were all already taken. So I didn't have a chance of doing any of these activities. But if you sign up, like if you are gonna go, I recommend you sign up at least 2 years in advance. So you could pay it slowly. And so you are able to sign up first for any of those trips and be able to sign up for these activities. Because people take it right away. And once you're there, you cannot sign up. They don't really have spaces. So that was the only thing. But I know I'm going to be to Antarctica again. So I'm not worried because the next time I go to Antarctica, I'm going to be hosting the trip for Latinos. And I'm going to be the first one signing up for everything. Literally. So... yes. So that's when people tell me like, what? I know I'm gonna go again because it has, even if it's not that trip, even if it is like when I retire, I'm still gonna go again because I know I will. I want to go a longer trip because the deeper you go into the Antarctica Peninsula, the more things you see. Like if you saw there, the penguins that we were seeing were the little ones that go up to my knee. But they have penguins that go up to your hip. And those are the ones that have like the yellow part like around the neck kind of thing. We didn't get to see those. They almost look like humans. So that you only see if you go deeper into Antarctica. And my trip was only 12 days. So you don't go deeper in those kind of excursions. You go deeper if you do like 30 days and things like that. Yes. Now this was the last outing that we had. Oh, no. Yeah, that was the last outing. Also, I have the same video too.
El Alpha.
Never mind.
I'm playing your go-go dance.
Yeah, that was the last outing. I thought I was putting another video there. But then this is the drink path. Let me stop this one so you can So the water is so intense that the furniture literally goes sideways. I have other videos too. That it literally goes sideways. And the chip goes down, and like you can see, and the water goes up. This is the 3rd floor. Well, technically the 5th floor. Because it's 3 floors of places and activities, and then like 2.5 floors of rooms. My room was all the way at the bottom because remember, I'm in the cheapest room of 2 people. So this is the view from the window. That day. Let me see if I can. Come on. You even hear this shit? Like it's making noises. It's scary.
Wow.
Yes. So when we were going, it was not as bad. They were like, oh, we passed the Drake and we didn't even feel anything. When we were coming back, it was so rough. So not only I took some pills that you can take for that they're prescribed medication for motion sickness, but I also took like a little bracelet that puts pressure here. It's almost like acupuncture kind of thing. And then I also took like ginger like menticas. And even with all that, we were still, all of us, sick. Because it is like really, they told us, at the beginning we were outside chilling, but it became a little dangerous. And they told everybody, you're gonna go to your room until further notice. So we were in the room for at least 12 hours. And they brought the food to your room and everything because they didn't want people to get hurt. Because, you know, you can fall. Oh, don't mind this picture. But other expenses is the flight to over there. Mine, I bought it late because I saw it at 600 earlier. And I was like, well, maybe I could use my points, travel first class, business class in American. And then I couldn't get the points together because it was in American and I don't have American points. I have like other points. Then airport taxi, then alcoholic drinks, tips. They have a polar boutique, so you can buy souvenirs there. I bought little earrings with penguins. I bought like little keychains for my nieces. I bought 2 t-shirts, a couple of things for like my husband and stuff. Now packing, this is what they recommend. Bring base layers, most likely, brace layers, because they give you the boots and then they give you the jacket. And it's for you to take. The jacket is yours. You take it with you, and the jacket has like 3 layers inside. So most big cruise lines, they give you that. I'm not sure about the smaller ones, but they give you that. One of the main things that you have to bring is sunglasses with UV protection because it is so bright, and then the sun reflected on the ice, it can damage your eyes. So that's why you see everybody with like either glasses, or they could have like the skiing goggles, because sometimes water will come, you know, se salpica, and water will come around your eyes, so it's ice water. And everything waterproof, absolutely everything. Even my book bag was waterproof because I will have the cameras inside on my phones and things like that. So yeah, a lot of casual clothing to be on the boat. Good sneakers, or at least something with grip, because you're walking around the ship. Like every time I had dinner, I will go around the boat and just walk at least for 30 minutes to do like some exercise. They have a gym too, but you know, I just wanted fresh air. Definitely earplugs, because if you find a person who's snoring, like my roommate, I wanted to like choke her, literally. Yeah, sometimes you could have bad roommates or good roommates. Mine was really bad. She was like horrible. So she almost messed up my entire trip because I ended up sleeping on someone's room for one night and someone's couch. Another time I ended up going to like a little library that they had and just laying down there. That part of the trip was horrible because then during the day I will be sleep deprived and she will feel rested and good to go on the trip. So I will sometimes go to the room during the day to sleep, and she will come in the room to have conversations on her phone because she was like, anyways, she had internet, so she will have conversations with people in the room on FaceTime. And I'm like, can you go somewhere else? Like, you don't let me sleep at night, and I come here during the day to sleep, and she will like come during the day, and I'm like, she's just doing it on purpose at this point. So it was really bad, you know. Anyways, this is when we got back to Antarctica. Ushuaia again. This is one of the t-shirts that I bought. And yeah, oh, there was not one page there. Okay. And that's it. I know you have a lot of questions. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't put there, to be honest, just because there is just so much to cover. Like, seriously. Like, there is, I mean, all the whales, everything, there is just a lot. But I know you have a lot of questions, so I'm gonna answer them. Let me see what it says. Did I feel the clothes they provided were enough for the temperature? Yes. So what you do is that you bring layers, and then if you feel hot, you could take things off. But do not go without things, because you never know when it's gonna be cold, because all of a sudden it could be like a cold front, like a breeze, and you will get sick so quickly. So I always had a neck warmer, always. And I always had a hat, always, and gloves, because sometimes with the photos you holding, your hands will freeze. Like sometimes I couldn't hold it at all. And I would just be like, I'm just gonna watch. I'm not gonna record anything, you know? So something that I didn't include there is icebergs. Like you will see the huge icebergs, and sometimes you have to stay at a distance because they will like break off, and when they fall in the water it creates waves, so you don't want your Zodiac to like flip, because if you all flip in that water, you know, it's gonna be a whole thing. So what we saw, I have footage of like icebergs falling off, like breaking off and falling. I have footage of sea lions, like just flipping and like doing their thing, but we always had to run away from them. We would get close enough to take pictures, we'll get away, because they are very, you know, the ecosystem, they eat penguins, so you don't want to see them running after a penguin and eating it live. Like, I don't know, I don't want to see that. I love penguins. The one thing I wanted to see, I'm like, this is my, like the one thing I want to see is a penguin jumping out of an iceberg. And I saw it on the last day that we went out on the Zodiacs, a penguin jumping out of, but it's like I have so much footage and it was so hard to like find all the videos. It's crazy because I had 2 phones too, but you know, let me see. The outer gear is included. Yeah, just the jacket and the boots that they give you to go on the Zodiacs and to go on the land. And when you come back, you have to clean the boots. So you put your foot in like a machine and it washes it, and then you put the other foot in the other machine and you wash it. All of those clothings have to stay in the little locker that they give you, because they don't want you to bring anything like back if you're gonna go back out. And the penguins' poop smells really, really, really bad. So they just poop anywhere, and it is like reddish color, and it is just disgusting. But you know, you handle it because you're like, I want to see the little penguins, and they're the most adorable, and they're the most clumsy creatures ever, and you're laughing, dying, because they're just adorable. They just smell really bad. How many? Let me see. Yes, we bring the sazon for sure. Let me see. My room had a window. It didn't have a balcony. Other people had balconies. But when it was the Drake, the people with balconies actually were more scared. Because ours is like just, the window is like part of the ship. But the balcony is like a door, and it's like the water is coming on the balcony, and like you're seeing that. So they say they were more scared. Let me see. The spa and massages are not included. Great question. I mean, the massages are not included, but the spa, yes, is included. You could go to the spa, enjoy the facilities, but if you want a massage, you have to pay. And I think it was like $150 for an hour or something like that. But I didn't get one because in order for you to do one, you had to not go on one of the excursions. And I'm like, oh no, I want to go on every single excursion, no matter how tired I am. And they go every morning and they go every afternoon for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. And one of them, they actually had a hot chocolate bar. So what they did is that they had a Zodiac with like the main, not the captain, the person in charge of like the activities on the ship, the director, I think she's called. And she came dressed as a penguin. It was called the penguin bar, the polar bar, something like that, on a Zodiac, serving chocolate with Baileys. So you will come through with your Zodiac, they will serve you the cups, and then you will keep going, and then the next group will come, and they have music and everything in the middle of the water. So that part was really, really fun. Does Quark have a payment plan option when you book in advance? I think they have that you do a down payment, and then the rest of it is due like 2 months before the trip or something like that. I believe that is how they do it. You do a down payment and then you pay the rest. So you can put yourself on a payment plan where like you can say, oh, I'm gonna save certain amount of money to pay towards the trip, and then you pay it when it's the time to pay it. That last picture was the post-Antarctica glow, yes. And the thing that you don't realize is that even though sometimes you don't even see the sun, it is still sunny. So we had to bring a stick sunscreen, because you don't want to like take the glove off and then get your hands dirty and then trying to put sunscreen. So you buy like almost like a deodorant, but it's a sunscreen, and you put a lot of sunscreen. But sometimes I had like the hat up to here, the glasses here, and then the neck warmer up to here, covering here. So sometimes I was completely covered. But the times that I wasn't covered, you know. It's also like going to the spa. I was going to the spa almost every day, and they had it open until like midnight sometimes. And I was also drinking a lot of water. I barely drank alcohol because I didn't want to be sick to go the next day on the excursions. I didn't want to limit myself and jeopardize the trip. And what else? And just like, I don't know, it was just great. How long? Let me see this. How long is that part of it? I'm not sure what that part of it is. But to cross the Drake is at least one full day, one full 24 hours. Depending how crazy the water is, it could take longer. So they usually account for 2 days going and 2 days coming back. And they can just slow it down or do something else, you know, in between. And yeah, that's when we did, that was mostly the downtime, and that's when they have most of the presentations and when they have most of the things. So let me now see if I can share this last thing. So you can see, I'm gonna share this other part now. She's the last thing I'm gonna share, by the way. And then if you have any more questions, you can ask. Aquí. Come on. So they send you a folder like this. And it has like the map, the logs, the daily program, the staff bios, the bridge report, wildlife list, dining menus, history corner, photo journal, slideshow. So they have everything. Oh, great question. Is any medical approval needed to join the trip? No, you don't need medical approval. You choose what activities you do or you don't. Some people, they were just really tired and they didn't go on certain things. Some people were older and they like only went to certain excursions. They didn't go to all. It depends what you like. If you like birds, then you just stay on the ship and like you do like the bird watching, whale watching, you know, it depends. You listen to your body and you do what you're capable of, but they do require that you have travel insurance that cover at least up to $50,000. So in case anything happens to you, then you are covered, because they are not gonna cover you for anything. That usually costs like $150, so it's not that bad. I purchased an annual one, and my annual one is $500, so it covers me for all of the trips, including that one. Yeah, so besides the Drake Passage, yeah, the rest of the trip, you didn't get seasick. Because we were just like cruising, like slowly, stopping in different destinations, you know. Maybe like if well, when we were like breaking the ice, you know, on the zodiacs, sometimes that will be, or like if iceberg will fall, like sometimes you'll feel the wave, but you will not get like sick. Which annual insurance I used, I'll tell you right now. Travel insurance. Let me see, it's gonna come up, but why is not coming up? Travel insurance is Alliance 485. I use the All Trips Premier plan. Alliance Travel Insurance. Just because my friend is a big traveler, the one hosting the trip, and he told me this one is the one that covers the most if anything were to happen, at least for the Antarctica trip. So it renews every January 1st, and I just have it over there on renewal. So I mean, not if nothing happens, but if something happens, then I'm covered. So let me show you the video. Is this the whole video? Yeah. Well, it's 20. If there was a way to do it like faster. Oh, right here. So they create this whole summary out of all the pictures that they take and also the pictures that you we dance in court. We understand. But you get the gist, right? I'm gonna see if I can Let me add this. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. So as you can see, most people are elderly or you see? So you see that? That is so freaking cool. Like you can be.
Love this place, love this place, love this place.
One of the Argentinians.
Play, make me come, make me feel the sun on my skin and scream, you wanna run. We just wanna have fun. Wild and free, baby, we can dream farther than our eyes have ever seen. I don't wanna grow up. Baby, could we misbehave a bit more? Never know what's in store when we're out here.
So if you notice in the video, you didn't see a lot of people from our group. And the reason for that is because you had to go to a computer and upload the pictures. And most of our group, actually no one from our group uploaded their pictures. I uploaded as much as I could, but since I didn't have the pictures in order, you had to put it in a specific day folders. So I tried to put as many pictures as I could. So any pictures of us that you see there was me uploading them. The reason for that too is because once you send it to them, they have the rights to use it. Not only to put it in this video, but also to put it on social media. And some people didn't want them to have that right. So, but I wanted to be in the main video. So I'm like, I'm gonna put myself so that I appear in the video like at least 15 times. Because I'm like, I need to be there, you know? So one question that you asked, the average temperature. So the average temperature was actually 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And when I came back to New York, there has been a snowstorm here, and it was actually colder here than in Antarctica. It was like 25. And I was like, take me back, because it was actually warmer in Antarctica than here. But then again, that's their summer, and here is the winter. So yes. Any questions? And I'm sorry it took so long, like over an hour. Thank you so much for your patience and for listening to my presentation. If you have any more questions, put them there in the chat. It was just a magical experience for me and something that I definitely want to do again, and something that I definitely want to bring my community to do, because these are like once literally in a lifetime kind of experiences, and I want my community to have access to that. So, you know, even if it's in a smaller scale, even if it's in a different ship, you know, I just want us to have that. And yeah, pretty much. So when do you plan on to go on this dream trip again? Because what some companies do is that they talk to Quark Expeditions like at least 3 years in advance, and then they start collecting money from people like on a separate platform. And when Quark Expeditions opens their trip, then you make the first down payment. So people, like, let's say, will pay it to me slowly, but then we pay it to Quark Expeditions at least 2 years in advance when the trip opens. Because if you wait longer than the trip opens, you may not have a chance to get on the ship, because they sell out. Like, they sell out. Sometimes what you do, if you want to go on your own and you're okay to sharing people room with strangers, which is okay, and being like the only one person of color, then you wait for they have 2 sales. They usually have it if you have flexibility. If the ship leaves next week and you have flexibility, you can book the week before, and they usually have it like 50% off. So if you have the flexibility to click up and go, like especially if you're a digital nomad, or you know, you can book your things with points, you can buy it because they're like, oh, there is 1 space available, and then they sell it at that price. Also, for Black Friday, they have their biggest sale. But usually you buy Black Friday for like the following year, and they usually have a big sale there. So those are the 2 ways that I would recommend. The thing is, if you're gonna do that trip, do it, you know, don't try to be cheap, because if you do it cheap, you know, you get what you pay for, pretty much. So this is Quark Expeditions, yes. There are many other companies, and people have had fabulous. I literally, because I always wanted to go, so I was looking into it way before that. I joined Facebook group about groups about Antarctica. I interview at least 5 people that have been on those trips, and I also contacted 3 different companies, because initially I just wanted to go myself. And I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna go myself, what kind of information can I get to make the most informed decision. And that's how I was already doing my homework before I even won the trip. Because it was just a personal interest of mine. And then when I won it, I was like, wow, like it couldn't have been the best, you know, like it was wild. So I mean, maybe like, but you know, you want to really know what my dream is for this trip? You know how Alex Sensation does the mega mezcla sometimes from his trips when he's in Dubai, when he's in Colombia, when he's in Dominican Republic, him doing the mega mezcla from there, and him being like the main, el invitado de honor. How do you? I don't know how to say that in English. And I'm like, but there. So that's one of my dreams, bringing him to be. Actually, this is the first time I say it out loud to other people, guys. And I've been like following him and commenting in all of his pictures when he travels. And he responds to me, actually. He actually has responded in DMs too. Because I'm like, I want to build that rapport. So when I reach out to him, he says yes. And I'm excited. I've seen it happening because I saw Diplo, who's like house music. He did a concert there. And he actually had people donate money and you could win the trip to go there. So I'm like, imagine bringing Alex Sensation on a trip with 125 people, Latinos. I will go crazy. Yes. So, I mean, what year? What year is this? 2024? Maybe like 2027? 2027, maybe. It will be super cool. And you know, Alex Sensation's birthday is around my birthday. So I always, when I party where he's DJing. So, because it's his birthday too. So that's how much I love him too. So I'm going to go to his mega mezcla right here, 5 minutes from my house in the Prudential Center, which is on the 27th or 28th of April, to celebrate both of our birthdays. So yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right. If you have any questions, like, let me know. This is literally it. Thank you, Carla, and thank you, Carol, and Sarah, and let me see, PF. I'm not sure who PF is, but all of you. Thank you so much, Bianca. Let me see who else is here. Meline, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I know I don't post on Instagram as much because as you can see, I have so much footage and I have like 3 pictures. But I promise one day I'll do better and post all of the photos of my content. I have 25,000 pictures of all my trips that I've never posted. I'm like, I could have been the greatest content creator in the world, but
girl, same. On this side.
Princess, that's you. Oh shit, you're here.
I tell people, like, when I compare all of my photos, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh yeah. When I compare my pictures, like my photos and videos on my phone with other people, I always am the one with the most.
Yeah.
And most of that is from my travels and stuff that I've never posted. But I did have a question for you regarding, like, did you see other boats as well? Like, were you able, or do they do like their due diligence to kind of keep it separate where you're not really mingling with the other people? Because that was like my biggest thing. I feel like, you know, there's been a lot of craze with Antarctica, and it's like, it's almost been exploited in a sense to me. And so I was just wondering about that aspect. Did you actually see other people, or was it just like those from your boat?
You see other boats, but they are like very far and they're very few. Like we probably saw, and it's usually when you go through like the little stretches because you have a specific time that you can go through them.
Okay.
And yeah, but you rarely see that. We never land on a place where we see other.
It was just your major
It's
group.
just like the people from your boat, and not even everybody from your boat, because normally what they do is like they take one zodiac, people get on it, then they get another one, but by the time the third one is coming, the other one is coming back. So you don't even spend that much time on the land because their whole thing, is they don't want you to damage the like the natural, like flora and fauna and all of that. Like they
Yeah.
don't want you to damage anything, and they do a lot of training. This is how you should walk. We couldn't even like get on the snow until like the last landing. The last landing, they were like, okay, you could sit on the snow, but you couldn't even sit on the snow because they're like, things from your clothes are gonna get in it. If you have like any beads in your clothes, they will not approve it for you to go out with it. Because I'm like, if one of those beads falls and then a penguin takes it and the penguin dies. So
Okay.
they're like with hats, make sure it doesn't have feathers or anything. Like, sometimes people have like the little ball here. They were like super careful, like you cannot bring anything that can damage.
Okay. I
air.
like,
So
yes.
at least that company, I don't know other companies.
Right. Okay. It seems like they're very intentional about trying to like keep the integrity of like the space what it is. Okay. I like that.
And even with the big ships, they don't go that further in because they don't want to like mess up. Like if there is ice, if there are whales at the bottom, they don't want to like kill them by mistake or anything. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys. I'm glad that this information was helpful. Looking forward to seeing you at the Latino Travel Fest, yes, which is gonna be May 31st to June 2nd. Thank you so much. It is definitely the ultimate bucket list, absolutely. And I'm glad that you learned something. Thanks for sharing all this info. Speaking into existence, one day we will have a full Latina cruise, Latinx cruise in Antarctica. Look, the way I dream, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna accomplish all these things that I'm dreaming in my lifetime, but if I don't accomplish it in this life, I'm gonna accomplish it in my next life, okay? But something is gonna happen. Yes. Bueno, chicas, thank you so much. And I really appreciate you. And if you have any questions, send me a DM and we'll talk. Nos vemos mucho. Hablamos pronto. And let me see. Stop.